Welcome to the High Efficiency Practice podcast, hosted by Brenda Mana, a show focused on how leaders build efficient, scalable healthcare and wellness businesses. Today's guest is Mo Setabtim, founder and CEO of the Happiness Planner and Ritualy, known for helping people build better habits and more intentional lives.
Let's get things started right into the podcast flow. Can you share a little bit about your role and how it fits into the bigger picture of the Happiness Planner or Ritualy right now?
So I would say over the past 11 years now, I have been running this brand called the Happiness Planner. It started off, it was my childhood dreams. It came from my passion and interest in psychology, design, and my purpose in life to inspire people to become more self-aware and master their mind. I've really enjoyed designing, planning, and journaling tools that help people live happier and healthier lives. And now I'm on the next mission from the paper products and digital products to helping people changing behavior. Ritually is going to be the operating system or the infrastructure for behavioral change.
That's an interesting evolution for the Happiness Planner into the digital world, although I know you already do digital content on the sessions that you organize for your community.
We have Happiness Planner app, which is like a planning journaling app. Ritually is something different. It's going to incorporate AI, and it's going to be a marketplace where therapists, coaches, and clinicians can also use to scale their impact and transform more lives.
Wow. Is it launched, pre-launched, already active and scaling? What's the status of it? The Happiness Planner, the brand has over 10 years, as you mentioned. Where is it Ritually at?
It's pre-launch. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's get a little bit of Mo as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. What does a typical day look like for you?
My typical day, I usually sleep for like 8 hours, like naturally. And then I get up, I would get ready, and then I hit the gym. I like to start my day with having a coffee and then hitting the gym. After that, I have lunch and then start working. That's what my typical day looks like.
Do you do Monday through Friday, or is it 7 out of 7 days that you're looking at the business and how is it going and what you can do? The mind never stops, of course.
Now I would make it like Monday to Friday because I'm in a relationship. But when I'm single, I tend to spend like my free time on the weekend working also. So it depends.
Going back to Ritualy and the Happiness Planner, both your brands and different stages, what major shifts are you seeing in the industry that brought the idea of the Happiness Planner rooting into Ritualy?
I see the shift in the creator economy. When I started the Happiness Planner, therapists, they weren't mainstream, they weren't on social media, and coaching wasn't as popular as it is now. I see the evolution of how now therapists and coaches and even doctors, they now have their online presence and they have the following and their voice, they share the wisdom on social media. So that's the trend that's shifted dramatically over the last 10 years. And therapy used to be something that wasn't as mainstream. Maybe it was mainstream in America, but in other countries, it was something that people were just like, oh, seeing a therapist. But now it's very normal to see a therapist, and people are much more aware of the tools that are available and the techniques that they can use on themselves. So I think that's the biggest thing that I see.
How do you think that trend has impacted your business and growth strategy?
Because therapists and coaches and doctors now have online presence and they share their voice publicly, I would love to empower them to be able to scale their impact even more with the platform that we're building with Ritually. So that's how I see the industry is going.
If I get what you're saying, there's first individuals' pursuit of healthier choices or a higher purpose. I'm not at my fullest and I'm pursuing something that might get me to that point. With Ritually would be a space in which other coaches can interact with your client base at the Happiness Planner or any other individual looking for some guidance into healthier choices in a daily basis. So you're mixing both with this industry trend on coaches becoming available online. You're providing a space. Am I getting this right?
I see that people go see therapists or coaches or even doctors, and we're not trying to replace therapy or we're not trying to replace anybody, but we want to fit that gap in between sessions. Let's say
Oh,
therapy
okay.
is once a week or once a month. In between the sessions, you get homework from your coaches and therapists, and they would tell you these are the things that you have to do. But there's at the moment, I feel like it's very, you're on your own. You get the PDFs, you get the audio, you get the homework, but we're building a platform to be that space that is for the daily rewiring. We call it daily rituals. So that's why the name is Ritualy. The in between sessions, how you live your day to day in order to change your habits and mindset and beliefs.
Thank you for clarifying. I wasn't certain if I was getting it right, and now it kind of makes sense because you're, in essence, in addition to and not as opposed to, you're complementing and also holding hands with the process and the success of those individuals that are looking for something else. And also, from a trends perspective, there was a little bit of a misconception on who needed to work on mental health, probably almost around the time that you founded the Happiness Planner, as in people would say, oh, you have an issue, as was more on tagging people of a problem instead of just looking to be at peace with oneself. And social media and modern lifestyle has impacted individuals to look for an analog way of feeling better and not just scrolling through social media or just watching endless TikToks. It's fantastic. So entrepreneurship is tough enough with one brand. Now you have two, which might be stressful at some point, although you are a happiness planner, so you know how to keep yourself at check. Can you tell us a little bit about what's working well for you and what has been frustrating?
So at the moment, the main business is to the happiness planner. So we haven't really completely, how do you say, transition into Ritualy. But I would say once Ritualy is completed, although I will keep the happiness planner because they're kind of linked, and the community that we've built with the happiness planner will feed into the new business Ritualy as well. So they're intertwined.
Leaders such as yourself have many complexities to dance through their day, their week, their month. They have revenue goals, they have growth objectives, KPIs. Being a solo entrepreneur is challenging at points. So I was wondering what is working for you right now in terms of managing your business, your objectives, your revenue goals, KPIs. These are physical products. And some of the things that you serve. Also, you have these webinars or sessions. There was one in, I think, last week on the 11th. So you host many type of products, which might be super stabilized at this point. But is there anything in the running of the business that is frustrating or keeps you up at night, between air quotes?
It does get stressful at times. Like at the moment, I'm pretty good at managing. Like it's not overwhelming. But many years ago, when the happiness planner was growing really quickly and I had multiple team members, that was a very stressful time. There are always challenges. I would say from COVID up until now, there's just been a number of challenges. I would say challenges from managing inventory, selling stuff in multiple countries, business admin stuff, the expense that came from growing quickly. And then after COVID, I had to spend a long time really trying to cut down on the expenses. Now with the new platform, we're also fundraising. So it's always stressful. But the biggest thing I've learned through this is stressing about it or being worried about it doesn't help you solve problems better or
Absolutely.
faster. Or getting angry and being upset with other people and just not being in control of your emotion doesn't make people help you solve your problems faster. So I think I've learned to be a lot calmer. I've also learned a lot about people, actually, like managing team members and understanding people's strengths and weaknesses and just knowing which type of task to assign to who. And once you've learned that, it helps you manage your business so much more efficiently. And your nervous system also feels better.
How many countries are you selling to right now? Because that's challenging. Like international commerce can be pretty stressful.
At the moment, only the US and the UK. Well, we used to be a few countries like Australia, Canada, and all that, but now we've downsized and I'm just going to keep it in the US and the UK for now.
Interesting market and pretty big too. So kudos for your success. How big is your team?
Our team is currently 4 people.
Which metrics are you most focused on improving right now?
For the happiness planner, at the moment, we're focusing on, because we're not trying to take on too much inventory like before, because before we grew too quickly and we had 30 SKUs. So at the moment, we're not looking to have too many products. We want to keep growing the community and really grow the engagement with the long-term customers and followers. So that's our focus right now.
So monetizing on the community that you build, even if it's not necessarily associated with physical products.
Yeah, that will flow into the new platform as well. If we can maintain the relationship with the existing customers and really understanding them and keeping them engaged, I would say that is the goal right now. Yeah.
Awesome. Thinking ahead more to where we're going as the future of both brands, or just merging them both into the same one, a newer one, or keeping both separately but connected. Where would you want to be in 6, 12, or 18 months?
6 to 12 months. So let's say like by the end of this year, I would have loved to raise money. We built a team, we've launched a platform. It's going really well. We're thriving, and people, therapists, coaches, and doctors are using our platform, and our customers or people who love personal development and people who are looking for change. They use the new platform to help them with their behavioral change or changing habits. So that's the goal. And for the happiness planner, we're looking to maybe have a few more items available by the end of the year, because this year we sort of kept it small, but we would love to expand again and get back into the big retailers.
Oh, interesting. You mentioned that the goal of the business would be growth and stabilization, meaning having coaches and therapists use your Ritualy space to, if they adopt it, their customers would adopt it as well, or are they patients? So if you had the magic wands to fix just one thing in your business that's holding you back or slowing you down, what would that one thing be? That's a tricky question.
I would say just the capital that would inject the growth into the business. Yeah.
So fundraising.
Yeah, fundraising. That's my focus for the next month.
Do you foresee any competitors in your space? Have you found there are others trying to occupy this Ritualy space that you're trying to build the solution for?
So what we're building is pretty new. So there's no existing platform that is like it at the moment. So it's working because we're really inventing something completely new that I have the idea for. And yeah, we're fundraising at the moment. Yeah, but I could see that once we've launched, I will see that people will start, there will be some competitors popping up. Just like when we launched the happiness planner, I think we were like the first planner brand that started doing this wellness thing in productivity planners. And then a few other people that got inspired by us and they started doing similar things. I know that in the near future, after we've launched, we will have some competitors. But at the moment, there's no exact platform that's doing what we're trying to do completely.
What would you tell other business owners that might be sitting in the same chair as you right now in the following sessions?
I would say if you have a calling for something, just go for it. Especially at the moment, there's so many tools out there available that will help you on your journey. And you just have to get started and you just learn as you start doing.
What I like about the TEDx talk is when you ask people to raise their hand if they were happy. And then as 90% of the audience just raise their hands up and is like, what if I take your job away? Would you still be happy? What if I take your money away? Would you still be happy? And that is such a powerful message because it's like, what is happiness really? What defines you as happy? And understanding what that answer means for each of us, I think it's how you truly become someone that you might not be happy every day, but it's still in search of, and that gives us a purpose and that keeps us awake and engaged. It was a real pleasure to meet you. Look forward to all you can do this year. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.